Feeling the jazz.
Oh yeah.
Something about jazz makes me think of engaging with Vietnam.
How so?
Maybe the improvisation, the constant creation,
And cool people.
yeah. So we're in the jazz mood because we've got Engaging with Vietnam 13 that is now in preparation, right?
Yes. Knowledge production in the age of global rankings and metrics. What does it have to do with jazz?
Well, that's something we'll get to a bit later, but maybe first we need to explain what this theme actually is about.
Okay.
So, the age of metrics and global rankings, today that will make sense to some participants who, especially those who work at universities that are trying to rise up in the global university rankings and who do that by encouraging their staff to meet certain key performance indicators, which includes publishing in certain kinds of journals with certain ranks.
Impact factors, with
Impact
certain
factors,
ranks.
yeah, and getting a certain number of citations and things like that. So the reason why this is really significant is because this has gotten really intense over the last few years, and it affects knowledge production, which is what Engaging with Vietnam is always about.
Yes. So could you explain a little bit further of how, knowledge production might be impacted?
I was switching off to you for you to say something. Okay, how was it impacted? Okay, I mean, very simply, right? So when you have to publish, say, 1 or 2 articles every year in a certain kind of journal, that can create a lot of pressures. It can lead people to cut corners, and maybe the things they're doing are not so innovative, or maybe they're repetitive, or there's a lot of different things that can happen.
But you also think that it may continue to perpetuate the already existing hierarchy between journals, and also it definitely impacts those institutions or organizations that are trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when you're under these pressures to publish, and there is that hierarchy of journals, people are going to find one way to get published one way or the other, and the way the outcome might not be something that anyone is happy with,
Right. And definitely that that poses a lot of questions as well as unknown kind of I would say consequences to the quality of scholarship that is being produced at a massive level, I would say.
Right. And so this really affects Vietnam because, just a few years ago at Engaging with Vietnam, we had a conference where we're talking about Vietnam's integration, hội nhập, into the world of global scholarship. And so, just a few years ago, it felt like we're at the beginning of Vietnam's engagement in a larger world of scholarship. And now they're having to race as fast or faster than a lot of other people to meet all of these, metrics that are being demanded.
Yes, and one very important factor that I think scholars have been talking about, at a global level, is the language in which, so-called international scholarship is published in.
Right.
English, right?
Yep.
Yes.
How many Scopus index journals are there in non-English languages? That creates problems, right?
As well.
Yeah.
So definitely, it continues to pressure us to think about the role of local languages or other languages or languages other than English, and to what extent they may be considered, a lingua franca in the world of global scholarship.
Right.
And then, and actually there are many obstacles to leverage those other languages these days. Yeah.
So this is what the theme of the conference is, but it doesn't mean that to participate in the conference, you have to address this theme. Instead, the way the conference is always organized is that we have this theme that gets addressed in keynotes, talk shows, various events. Then we have breakout sessions. If you have a paper or panel that addresses the theme, then fantastic. Please, submit that. If, however, you're doing some other work on Vietnam, this is still a multidisciplinary conference that brings together, work on all different aspects of Vietnam, the country, the idea, in its global context. And so, anyone is encouraged to submit. However, the ideas that we're going to be, sort of talking about and discussing over the course of the conference are going to center around this pressing issue of knowledge production in the age of
global rankings and metrics.
I think it's actually the other way around, but okay, we'll check after we record this.
Definitely, yes. And as always, Engaging with Vietnam is committed to engaging with the theme of the conference as deeply as possible and as creatively as possible, and also in many
as jazzily as possible.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay, I didn't read it. Yeah. So,
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I think you read my mind.
Yeah. So think jazz.
Yeah,
Think jazz.
and Ike Jazz.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the submission form is now active. If you go to engagingwithvietnam.org, there's more information there about the conference theme, and there's submission link. And the deadline is
July
31st, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep, I think so. But if you wish to submit earlier, we can accept earlier if people are need to know, and we can make decisions on that as well. So
definitely, because we understand that many of you may need early notification in order to make your travel arrangement.
Right.
Yes, and there won't be so many surprises this year too.
Yep.
And even us organizers, we can't wait to. Yeah.
Who's our partner in this?
The University of Social Sciences and Humanities, Vietnam National University, Ho Chi Minh City, as well as we have, we also welcome a new partner this year, that is University of South Australia, a research center under the Faculty of Education.
And when is the conference?
A week long.
A week long.
Yeah, from 23rd to 31st of October. This year in Ho Chi Minh City, plus another location, but we will keep it as a secret for now.
Okay. So that's the theme, that's the time, that's the place, that's the information I think you need to know right now.
Right.
And we'll see you at the next Engage with Vietnam with the conference theme of knowledge production
In the age of
metrics and global rankings.
metrics. Yeah.
I'm sure it's not the other way around. Okay.
Yeah.
Think jazz.
Ike Jazz. We look forward to your submission.
Đêm buông xuống cái bí ẩn của bóng tối, góc ngõ nhỏ tường đã ngủ êm lìm. Có kẻ lang thang lặng ngồi bên hiên lạnh,